What is up, guys? You got Not the Worst here, bringing another Black Desert online video, and today we're taking a look at the Global Lab updates for this week, since there were some interesting changes that were introduced. Now, instead of going through the Google Translate version of this like I normally do and kind of wading through that, I've kind of just put together some of the more important bullet points of what's going on with the changes, or things that are super relevant. There's a few more things that are happening in Odalita that are being tweaked, and monster name changes that I didn't bother going in depth on, simply for the fact that it hasn't even been introduced to our servers just yet, so we're not super worried about that for now, and a lot of it wouldn't have an impact what the name was before. By the time we get Odalita, it's not even going to be, I mean, it'll be whatever name they decide. So just wanted to focus on the bigger ones, or the more relevant ones. So if you want to see the full notes in all of their Google Translate glory, that'll be linked down in the description below. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and cover some of the more key features. So first up, there's a developer's note, and they just kind of talk about damage dispersion and how they're balancing characters. So let me read that part to you. This is translated via me taking Google Translate and making it less terrible. So we're currently working on the balance between Succession and Awakening. In particular, we're focusing on the damage differences. We'll be trying to work on as many characters as possible at the same time, and are continuing to inspect damage distribution effects of all characters. Dispersion will be deleted except on necessary skills, which will be indicated in the skill descriptions. We've seen this start to hit the live servers with some of the skills and the way they disperse damage, AoE damage and that sort of thing. So we've already seen this kind of happen. They're just once again noting we're still going through this. We're still working on these things. So each week, especially on the live patch notes, not necessarily just the Global Lab ones, when you don't see your class changed to XYZ amounts for whatever, they just continue to keep harping, hey, we're working on it, we can only do so much at a time, and making changes week to week from there. So there were a couple of other tweaks on other classes, but nothing like super of note. Maewha seemed to be the larger focus for this one. We've got Full Bloom has been changed to a super armor while charging, where it was a frontal guard previously. It no longer has a knockdown effect. Stamina does not recover while using the skill, and the attack range on the Full Bloom skills has been adjusted as well. Now, the bigger note on this one, and what prompted the video in general, was the change to Caphras items. So let me go ahead and read through the points here, and then I just want to mention a few things with it. The amount of Caphras stones you get from extracting equipment has been increased from 85% to 95%, which is actually really nice. So you're only getting a 5% loss when you do pull your Caphras out of your items, be it because you upgraded a pen begs and you had a backup Tet begs that was C4. You can now remove that C4 level and only lose 5% of the Caphras that was in there, so much less of an investment loss than we had before. Cost for extraction has been increased from 1k to 100k silver per Caphras stone, so it's going to cost you quite a bit more for those. Obviously still drastically cheaper than buying a Caphras stone. The number of Caphras stones required for C1 to C4 has been reduced by 20%. However, the total amount to reach C10 is the same, meaning a reduction up to C4 and an increase somewhere between C5 and C10. And I say somewhere because if we look at the chart and example that they use, they don't actually specify, and this is directly in the Global Lab notes here. So they take pen level dim tree, for example. So currently, and coincidentally, I just got level 4 on my dim tree. You can see it's 220 at stage 1, 330 at stage 2, 440 at stage 3, and again 440 at stage 4 before this. So now what's going to happen is C1 is only going to be 176, 264, and then 352 and 352 for stages 3 and 4. Now the way this is worded, since it still takes a total of 8,260 stones to hit C10 on a pen dim tree, is that it's still going to take that same number amount, which means if we're losing 90 or so stones at C4 and C3, this has to be added somewhere else, which is why I say it has to be added somewhere between C5 and C10. Hopefully they just kind of evenly disperse it. Then this just kind of gives you the same amount to get to that C10, but you'll get those early stages for a little bit of bonus to help beef up your pen armors right away. Now, another thing to note on this, because it's not specified here either, the last time we saw some changes to amount of Caphras stones used, it was actually pen specific to it. This is not saying that it's pen specifics. It is unfortunately using just a pen dim tree, for example, and noting that. So I don't know for sure if this is going to affect all Caphras levels. Say if you have a Tet Dandy or something, if that you want to get to C4, since you pick up 1 AP at levels 1 through 4 on a Dandelion, at TET level. I don't know that that is decreased 20% or not. The wording seems to suggest that it is, but this is possible that it's only a pen change itself. I haven't logged into Global Labs in a while, so I didn't check it myself, but we'll see once it hits live servers. Still pretty cool to see, nonetheless, especially since I just started doing this to my pen armors myself, so personal bonus for me. Other than that, we've got a new journal that was added that rewards a large amount of Caphras stones for it. 4 new sailors added, and then I mentioned just a couple things about some Odalita changes, and then kind of held back on the rest of it because it was kind of like, who cares until we actually see it. But some Ahab locations that were inside the Castle Ruins were then removed. Beer and Wolf Spearmen have become stronger that are in the Thorny Forest, and there's a new thing where a Fallen Dark Knight can appear when you defeat a certain amount of them in a certain amount of time, and it has a higher drop chance for the Spirit of the Ghost item, which I believe is one of the items used for upgrading your armor to higher levels from there. So that's the talking points. Again, if you want to see the full stuff they got, here's your sailor stuff there. If you want to see the full thing, you can just check out the link below to the Global Lab and go through the translated patch there. But hopefully that sums up the gist of what's going on for you, at least in a bit cleaner way than struggling through Google Translate. So that's going to be it for this video. Be sure to like it if you did enjoy it. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe so you get notifications when new videos do go live. And let me know what you guys think about these changes. Personally, I love seeing those Caphras changes, since that's really the focal point where I'm at in progression is Caphras. So I love seeing that. But what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments down below, because I do want to hear from you guys as well. That is going to be it for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching. And also, I am now streaming full-time as well. So if you want to check that out, there's also a Twitch link in the description below. You can head on over to the Twitch page and drop a follow there. I'm streaming 5 to 6 days a week. It was 6 days last week and 6 again this week, but maybe 5 sometimes. But for now, that's what we're going with. So come check it out if you get a chance. That is going to be it for this one. I want to thank everybody watching, and I'll see you next time.